Now, this is going to be the portal page that all the users will access from, it sounds like from a link on your intranet site. So on your main portal page, there'll be a link to the ServiceNow portal page. And this is what you're looking at right here. So I'm currently impersonating a faculty member so that you're seeing what someone would see, a typical employee or a typical faculty member or student would see. So there's a few things to note. One is if you ever want to go home, no matter where you are in the platform, you can click your icon up here in the top left corner. That will always take you to this page. This is what I'm calling the home page for the portal. Now we've got a few different sections. The portal can do technically 3 things, or you can think of it as accessing 3 different things. One would be a catalog item, or the catalog items from the catalog. 2 would be knowledge articles, which is going to be fulfilled sometime in the future. So it's a functionality that's here, it's available. Articles are not populated yet, but that will be coming down the road. And then we've got the get help, which is where you would create an incident. So let me just show you what those look like. So if I go into the request something, that's taking me to the catalog. So this is a catalog of request items. So you can click any one of these. These are now showing up because they're popular, which means they've been requested more often than the rest of them. But you can peruse through the catalog by topic by just clicking these different categories. You can also use the search engine. And when you're in the catalog, then when you use the search engine, you're only searching the catalog. And we know we're in the catalog because you can see here in the breadcrumb, service catalog. So if I want to search for something, whatever it is, just put your keyword, and then you're going to look through the different items to see if it's popping up as to what you're needing. Now let me go back to home. So that's just perusing through the catalog, going directly to the catalog. Down the road, when you will be using knowledge, you would go into the knowledge base. Now, like I said, there's currently no articles, there's no categories that have been defined, but this is going to be a functionality that will be used in the probably not so distant future. And we know from here that we're in the knowledge base or the knowledge articles because you can see here it says knowledge base. So if you use the search engine, you're only searching knowledge articles. And then another way to go home too, by the way, in addition to clicking your icon, your company, your organization's logo, is you can click this home button. This is just the breadcrumb of where you are in this service portal. So if I click home, it takes me back to home as well. Now these up here are the same thing. I can go into knowledge articles. I can go into the catalog. So they take you to the exact same place. It's just a matter of what your preference is on getting there. If you use this global search, the search that's right on your home page, that is going to search for service catalog items and knowledge articles and potentially also incidents. So the third component of what you would look for as an end user on this service portal page is an incident. So if you have something that isn't working right, either a service isn't working right, it's not performing as it should or as it's expected, or you've got something wrong with your laptop or your phone or any kind of hardware that you're using that isn't functioning right, and it can be either flat out broken or it's just not performing like it's supposed to, then you would come in here and click the Get Help. And what that does is that will create an incident. And it's a real simple incident form. As an end user, you would just fill out what's the urgency, high, medium, low. It's just a judgment call. And then describe your issue. So I'll go ahead and fill one in here. Now, also note that as you're typing into this description, the system is going to be searching for other catalog items. So catalog items or knowledge articles. So at this point in time, it's only going to be searching catalog items, but down the road, it will search catalog items and knowledge articles, because maybe what you really need is you need to request something, not fill out an incident. Or maybe there's a knowledge article out there that will help you resolve your own issue or your own problem. Therefore, you just open the knowledge article and resolve your own problem, and you don't need to complete the process by clicking submit. So in this case, nothing is popping up because we're not ready to order a brand new laptop. We need to address the fact that it's cracked. Maybe it will get fixed. And then you would just submit this incident. So let me take a moment to describe the difference between an incident and a request. An incident is where something isn't working right. So it's not performing as you're expecting. It's something that you already have. You already have access to it, or you already have it. So a good example of that is if you have a wired mouse. So I know this example is getting really outdated because who has a wired mouse anymore? But if you have a wired mouse and your mouse stops working, that is an incident. But if you have a wired mouse and it works just fine, but you want to have a wireless mouse, then that's a request. You're going to request a new wireless mouse. So that's the difference between an incident and a request. A request is for something new. An incident is for something broken or not working right, or not working at all. Then anytime you fill out an incident or a request, you will always get this summary page here. And it shows you a few things. One, it confirms that your incident was submitted. And you can also come back to this at any point in time in the future to check the status of your request or the status of your incident. So I'm going to go back home so that you can see. Now, if I wanted to follow up on any of my requests that I've submitted or any incidents that I've submitted, you can see here, I can either go to my requests, which is right up here in the banner, and that is going to show all incidents and requests. And you can tell the difference if you're really wanting to know the difference here. You can see an incident starts off with INC followed by the number. A request is REQ followed by the number. Now, this is showing you all open, so all active incidents and requests. Down the road, when you've got some history logged, you can also go see anything that you've had in the past. So you just need to change the view from open to closed. So going back to open. So this is one way of accessing all of them. And then you can quickly see what is the progress, how's it coming along? What stage is it in? Is it brand new? Nothing's happened yet? Is it in progress? So again, I went to all requests, meaning all incidents and service catalog request items by my requests. If I go back home, you can actually go to into each one separately though. You can see here my open requests. So those are only catalog items, or my open incidents. Those are only incidents. So for example, let's say the laptop that I just, the incident that I just submitted. So I'm Caitlin, I just submitted this incident, but maybe I forgot to tell them something. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really important. I probably should have said this. I can actually go into the incident and type information that will go to the person who's going to fulfill or resolve my incident. And I could type it here. And then all I would do is hit post, and that puts that information in the record. You can also attach, and that's true whether it's the first time you're creating the incident, or you can come back later and attach something. So sometimes people will have screenshots showing the issue, and then therefore you want to attach the screenshot to your incident. Now, if I go back home, now you can see here, let me just show you a couple things with requests. You can see where in the process your request is. So for example, if I opened up request for training, let me do a better example, one that has more process. Let's see, I think shared mailbox might be one. So here's an example. If I opened up this one request, then I can see here by clicking this caret, I can see where in the process it is. So sometimes a request will require an approval. Maybe it requires a 2-level approval. Whatever the workflow is, I can see where in the process it is as an end user. That way I'm not having to call the help desk to say, where's my request? Has my manager approved it yet? You will know if your manager has approved it yet because it will show here in this stage. Now this one doesn't require an approval, but if it did, you would see that. Let's look at the VoIP phone. So here's an example of one that did require an approval, but you can see the approval has been completed. So now it's being fulfilled. So it's just in the process of that phone being fulfilled. So you can answer a lot of your own questions as an end user right here from the portal. And that's why it's called the self-service portal, so that you can request your incidents. You'll submit an incident when something isn't working right. You can search the catalog for items or something you might need, whether it be a specific item or a service or access to something. And you can follow up, either communicating to the fulfiller if you need to, or you can check out the process. Where in the process are you, or is that item? Now, on some of them, especially incidents, this is more true of incidents when the communication has to go back and forth, because sometimes the fulfiller who's trying to resolve your incident needs more information, or they have clarifying questions. They will actually respond to that incident. The end user will get that question, if it's a question or if it's just information, they will get that through an email notification, and they can also come to the portal and see the question and respond to the question. So look at this. This was an incident, let's say, that was created yesterday. So something about the laptop battery. Now you'll notice here, the fulfiller has provided a question to Caitlin. Now Caitlin would have received this question in an email notification, and she could respond through a link in that email notification, and her response would go to this record, or she could go to the portal like I am right now, and she could see the question and respond to the question. So the fulfiller is saying, hey, can you provide the asset tag, the make and model of your laptop? So she's going to put in her asset tag. She'll provide the answer and she's going to post it. Now that fulfiller has the answer to their question. So again, she can respond through her email that she receives, or she can go to the portal page and respond. They both go to the same place. They both end up with the same result. Okay, so let me come back here. So I filled out an incident. Again, to fill out an incident, there's a few ways to find the incident form. The quickest and the easiest, and the way people will probably go, is get help, and it opens your incident form. Another way is, if you know that it's called an incident, you can actually type in incident into the global search, and it'll bring up right here the incident form. The incident form can also be searched through the catalog. So now I'm in the catalog, and it will probably always be a popular item. So it should show up right here on the main page. But you can also find it under inquiry incident, under that category. And there's the incident form. They all go to the same place. They open the incident form. There's many ways to find it. So let me go back. Again, I keep going home so you can get the reference point of where we are in the platform, or where we are here on this service portal page. So now let's say I want to request a catalog item. And what I want to do is I'm looking to set up a shared mailbox. Now it happens to be a popular item, so it's right here. Or I could type in mailbox into the search engine, or I could have typed in mailbox into the home page search engine. So let's say this is the one I want. I find it, I come in here, and then you just fill out the information. So it'll populate as a user in the system. It will pre-populate with anything that's related to your user record. And if it's missing, then go ahead and fill it in. That means the user record didn't have that information. So go ahead and fill it in. So you can see here, what is the type of request? Okay, Caitlin's looking for a new mailbox. And she's going to give the mailbox a name. And then you can see here as I scroll down, now she has to add, or she's saying who needs to be added to this mailbox. So if I click the add button, I'm not sure if you guys see my pop-up. I think you do. So then I'm going to search through the users and select who they are. And it's going to start with an A because you guys have lots of users. And then the type, I'm adding access. So I'm adding, let's say I need to add 3 people. So there's 1. I'll add 1 more. And you can also remove people. You can see the remove button if that's what you're needing to do. Okay, so I've added these 3 people, and then I'm going to submit the record. So now I've submitted my request, and it gives me, the confirmation page here. Here's my request number, and you can see, obviously nothing has started. I just submitted it, but at some point in time, I can come back here and check the stage or the status. And you got to remember, just click the caret to see the different stages. So now that request item goes to the proper department that sets up shared mailboxes. It's automatic. It's all part of a workflow. They will get a task to set this up. Now, if it required approval, then that approval would go to the appropriate group or person first. They would see an approval that shows up in their email notification as an email. They would approve it. Then the next step is it would go off to the department who's actually going to fulfill the request, who's going to set up the mailbox. Then they'll set up the mailbox, they'll close the task, the request gets closed, and then at any point in time, the end user can refer back to any open or closed requests. And again, if they wanted to go see a past request, they would just go to My Requests, and then you toggle this to closed to see anything that happened in the past. But currently everything's open because the system is new for you guys. Any questions? Now, this second section, or this little middle section right here under announcements, at any point in time, your organization can add different things here under announcements. Now, there's currently a video on submitting an incident, and that video connects to YouTube. So if you click that, it opens up YouTube, and actually you can watch the video. So as you move forward in time, these announcements will probably change out. They will change out so that they stay current. Sometimes there might, if there's something really important going on, there might be a banner of information that gets added to this page. There isn't one now, but there might be in the future. So this is the ServiceNow portal page. And again, there's 3 things, just to summarize. You can request things from the catalog. You can submit an incident because something isn't working right. Or you can search knowledge articles in the future that might help answer some questions. A good example of that is, how do I connect my computer to the network printer? So, normally you would call the help desk and they would help you. But now you can come here to the portal, the self-service portal. You can attempt to start filling out an incident. But as you're filling it out, it's going to search knowledge articles. And if there was a knowledge article out there on how to connect to a network printer, then all you have to do is just open the knowledge article and then follow the instructions, and you're done. You don't even need to submit an incident. So you can either go straight to the knowledge base and look for an article on your topic, or you can start typing in an incident and it will start searching for you. Or you just go to this global search. Now keep in mind, on this homepage, this global search will search catalog request items, knowledge articles, and the incident form.